convener of FDP, welcomes you all in this valedictory ceremony. It is great honor and gratitude that I stand before you today as we conclude this remarkable FDP on constitutional values, a way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. The past few days have been a journey of enlightenment and inspiration, equipping us with the tools to create a positive impact in our academic and professional spheres. Throughout this program, we have learned multiple facets of constitutional law and the critical role it plays in ensuring social welfare of all citizens of the nation. Our discussions have led to the essence of Indian Constitution that embodies the aspirations, ideals, and values of our diverse nation. Let us empower. Our discussions have to lead to the essence of Indian Constitution that embodies the aspirations, ideals, and values of our diverse nation. Let us empower our students and peer circle with the knowledge and awareness necessary to uphold the principles of our Constitution and social justice. With this, I now invite Professor Dr. Shefali Raizada, Additional Joint HOI, ALSN, to address the August gathering. Ma'am, over to you.
Nidhi. Yeah, thank you, Nidhi. Very good morning. Even it is the time to say good afternoon at by the clock this time. So I, with all respect to all the esteemed guests for this valedictory session, respected Chairman, sir, all faculty colleagues present here, and all the participants for this 6-day FDP program under the Guru Dakshita, what we have started to impart the constitutional values. So very good morning, and we are at the closing of this 6 days FDP program, which has been, I believe, very successfully completed all the sessions by all the legal luminaries who were the keynote speakers and resource person throughout this time for enhancing the skills, to enhancing the knowledge, and give the thought-provoking aspects and thought-provoking ocean kind of the research area to all the faculty members who are participating in this FDP. So very successfully, it has been completed now. So the topic which we have chosen under the UGC mandate, which was based on the constitutional values of way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. This was a very deep, with the deep objectives, and to bring out certain very valuable outcomes, we have put this topic to project and to float under this FDP program. Really, this is the high time to thought more and more and to take the deep meaning of the Constitution and constitutionalism, what the values we are. So Amity Law School has always been taking the initiatives not only to upgrade and update the students, and to it means to for their skill development and skill enhancement of the students. Even we are equally concerned how our faculty members can enhance their knowledge, their interpretation, their research orientation through various platforms. So research, publications, their contribution for various events, it is the part and parcel and very regular feature of Amity Law School, Noida. Yes, certainly, faculty development program is also given a very serious, on a very serious note, we have organized, and we do organize these types of the platform for enhancing the level or the research ideas to bring out the innovation and to provoke and promote and encourage our faculty members to come forward to understand the various meanings. So certainly this FDP was also floated with this perspective, with this objective, how to explore the new different problems, what the emerging new challenges to understand, to connect the Constitution in the changing time period, how to assure the execution of social welfare, execution of various activities or the various thinking style of the people with the intention to do the social welfare. So these were the certain goals we have put in our mind. Certainly, participants must have understood through this various sessions took place throughout the sessions. Certainly, to certain extent, they must have reached to this objective. They must have achieved and attained certain knowledge to fulfill the requirement of this FDP, and we were very much intended to give certain and to bring out certain outcomes outcomes of this FDP. So participant must have been acquainted with the various new knowledge, new means learning, and certainly having a great experience being a part of this FDP on this very important event. And this FDP, I would like to convey my gratitude and my gratefulness convey and regards to our founder president, sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, who has given this platform and opportunities to all of us so that we could show and we could contribute in the institute building and the university building kind of the activities. We are really certainly thankful to our Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Atul Chauhan, who always give the support, guidance, and the motivation, and to give the roadmap to all the faculties to move forward in the leadership roles into the research orientation, and for having the innovative and to bring out certain new ideas in the changing environment or in the changing period and the different systems also. So I'm very, very grateful to our Chancellor, sir, for having this kind of the encouragement and the promotion and motivation from his side. I'm also very thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla, ma'am. She is the patron, it is the brainchild, and it is her idea. Under her leadership, we have been able to conduct this FDP. Certain her guidance, her idea, her aim and objectives to impart the education to the students, and also simultaneously how to upgrade our faculty under these development programs under the UGC mandate. It is her idea. So I'm very, very thankful and convey my gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am. I'm certainly having a grateful to our chairman, sir, Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, sir, for all time to give the support, guidance, roadmap to all of us, how to move, how to have the new ideas, how to define the new versions of the education, how the faculty development and how the faculty can enhance their knowledge, and obviously the new things, how we can promote. So these are all the support throughout coming from our chairman, sir. I'm very, very thankful to our chairman. Now the time to welcome our guest of honor for this valedictory note. And I convey my highly regards to Professor and the Vice Chancellor, NLU Tripura, Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh. Sir, we are really thankful for you as you accepted our invitation. And even at the last moment, it was changed. And I apologize for this. Yesterday, some of the things were scheduled and we had to move and shift this valedictory. But certainly we were wanting to have this valedictory and have you on this platform. So I discussed amongst our faculty committee if we could request you to please change the time. I'm very thankful and very, very obliged for your gracious presence here today on this closing ceremony. I'm very thankful, and once again, I welcome you and very warm welcome on this platform on behalf of Amity Law School, Amity University. So thank you so very much. I also again welcome our another important guest of honor, Shri Madhusudan Tripathi ji, member, former chairman, Bar Council of UP. So, Madhusudan ji, we are really thankful for you to join and to accept our invitation for this valedictory ceremony. So I once again welcome you on behalf of Amity University and Amity Law School, and on behalf of all committee members and myself for your coming and gracious presence. So thank you so very much once again to both our important guests for the day and for this valedictory ceremony. So thank you all and very warm welcome once again. Over to
Ma'am, you are muted, ma'am.
Sorry, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a torch bearer and for guiding us in the direction of learning. With this, I now invite Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, Chairman ALSN, to address the gathering with his words of wisdom. Sir, please.
Good morning. Good morning to our guests. Shina. And it is really pleasure and privilege to welcome Madhusudan Tripathi ji and Dr. Jogesh Pratap Singh ji, great well-wisher to our Amity Law School, Noida. And it is the great efforts done by Dr. Shefali Raijada with the total involvement of the faculty members, Nidhi and others in terms of executing this very beautiful value addition program, Guru Dakshita, under the Guru Dakshita value addition program. That is the constitution values under the Mulla Prabha quality mandate of the UGC. Constitution value a way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. Now, this 30 hours involvement, 30 hours deliberations by the different people, organizing it, delivering it, it's a really Herculean task. So I must give all the faculty members who actually deliver lectures during these 30 hours deliberations. Now, let me say a few words about this the beautiful FDP, and all of us know that the Constitution means a set of fundamental principles, basic rules, and established procedures, or they can be called as standards or instances. Now, Constitution lays down limit on the power of the government to avoid abuse of authority. Moreover, it is not static, but a living document. That's the most important thing, living document. And because it needs to be amended as and when required to keep it updated. Its flexibility enables it to change according to the changing aspirations of the people. And that's the reason that, title was given that, a way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. And it needs to be amended as and when required to keep it updated. Its flexibility enables to change according to the changing aspiration of the people, the needs of the time, and the changes taking place in the society. Now, we all know that unlike the constitutions of most of the democratic countries, the British Constitution is known as unwritten constitution because it is largely unwritten and uncodified. It was not framed as a complete statement like the Constitution of USA or the Indian Constitution. The Constitution of USA and the Indian Constitution are written constitutions. And Indian Constitution is the longest of all the written constitutions. It was prepared by a representative body known as Constitution Assembly And the process of constitution making was greatly influenced by the following factors. That will indicate the way our constitution is igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. And this process of constitutional making was greatly influenced by the following factors. A, aspirations generated due to the long drawn freedom struggle. When the freedom struggle was completed and we got the freedom, then the aspiration that was generated by the people of the India, that was one of the considerations for the formulating the constitution. B, the constitution and political changes that took place during the British rule. And third, the ideas and thoughts of Mahatma Gandhi, popularly known as Gandhism, that also influenced while writing the constitution. The socio-cultural ethos of the country and the experiences of the functioning of the constitutions are in other democratic countries of the world. And this came into effect on 26 January 1950. All of us know it. And since then, we celebrate this day as the Republic Day every year. The Constitution Assembly began to prepare the Constitution 9th December 1946. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president on 11th December 1946. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. The Constitution Assembly met for 166 days, spread over a period of 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days. And the making of the Constitution was completed on 26 November 1949, when the Constitution Assembly adopted the draft constitutions of India. And it defines India as a sovereign, democratic, socialist, and secular republic. So every word, sovereign, democratic, socialist, and secular republic. It has provisions for bringing about social change and defining the relationship between individual citizen and the state. And this is very, very interesting to observe. And if we just look at it, it has served several purposes. It lays down certain ideals that form the basis of the kind of the country that we as citizens aspire to live. A country is usually made up of different communities of people who share certain beliefs, but may not necessarily agree on all issues. A constitution helps serve as a set of principles, rules, and procedures on which there is a consensus. These form the basis according to which the people want the country to be governed and the society to move on. This includes not only an agreement of the type of government, but also on certain ideals that the country should uphold. The Indian Constitution has certain core constitutional values that constitute its spirit and are expressed in various articles and provisions. But what is the meaning of the word value? And we may immediately say that truth, non-violence, peace, cooperation, honesty, respect, and kindness are values. And we may continue to count many such values. In fact, in a layman's understanding, value is that which is very essential or worth having and observing for the existence of human society as an entity. The Indian Constitution contains all such values, the values that are universal, values and democratic and modern in the modern age. And if we just look at the value expressed in the preamble as objectives of the Constitution, these are sovereignty, socialism, secularism, democracy, republic character of Indian state, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, human dignity, and the unity and integrity of the nation. So if we go on expanding each word, sovereignty, socialism, secularism, democracy, republic character of Indian state, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, human dignity, and from there we can see the human rights of human dignity and the unity and the integrity of the nation. And this actually elaborates many of the things of the we can go on discussing it. It will take hours together in discussing the meaning of these words, and which actually gets percolated from the origin of the of our values or of the aspiration of the people of the country, people of the nation. Now, with these words, I must congratulate once again Dr. Shefali Raijada for taking this initiative for conducting conducting these 5 days, conducting 30 hours faculty development program, which was attended by the large number of faculty members. And I hope that my faculty colleagues, those who deliberated on those issues from within, from outside, they have given lots of justice to this. And so the living document, Constitution, and has provided many of the opportunities and also, given us understanding of what is human dignity and what actually the social welfare means. And this living document is essentially the most of our national governance system. And these governance systems, unless and until we follow it in letter and spirit, these governance systems become more or less defunct. So we cannot do anything which does not validate our constitutions. Even the parliament, whatever act they enact, if they do not come under the purview of the constitution, this act can be challenged, the act can be nullified. There are many examples which has been done in that way. So this living document and the inherent values, as I just discussed, it has inherent values that has been incorporated in the Constitution, is a great document written by the Constitution Assembly, by the member of the Constitution Assembly, keeping in mind the provisions within the Constitution that it can be, changed, it can be modified, then amendment can take place, and then fundamental rights and fundamental duties that have been defined, and rights with the teeth, legal teeth that has been given, and the rights, of course, has been mentioned, but without any legal validity. But certainly, many of the rights we can see that, duties we can see that, constitutional duties we can see that it has subsequently has been converted to a law, and two things can be done: the Information Act, RTI, and also the right to education, both has emanated from the fundamental duties. So the great book written, which actually we feel proud of our forefathers who took the trouble and were making this a great book, and which is the largest constitution available in the world. So thank you very much once again. And we are really thankful, really on behalf of our Honorable Founder President, on behalf of our Chancellor, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, on behalf of our Amity Law School, Noida. Once again, I give my profuse thanks to Sri Madhusudan Tripathi ji, former Chairman Bar Council of UP, and also certainly our good old friend, Professor Jogesh Pratap Singh, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Tripura, for sparing their time to be present in this validity function. So thank you very much. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, Smita. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. It has inspired us to strive for excellence and uphold the values. Now our additional joint HOI, Dr. Aditya Thomas sir, has joined, and I request to him to address the gathering. So it's a matter to great pride that we have amongst us Shri Madhusudan Tripathi ji, member and former chairman of Bar Council of UP and member of AICC, and a part of the board of directors at Springer Education Foundation. Mr. Tripathi has also been the president of Civil Court Bar 3 times and once a joint minister, practicing law in Gorakhpur Civil Court since 1980. Welcome you, sir. Sir, now over to you.
मंच पर बैठे हुए डॉक्टर शेफाली जी, आदित्य तोमर जी, डॉक्टर DK बंदोपाध्याय उपाध्याय जी और मिस्टर निधि कौशिक जी, सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और डायरेक्टर को मैं धन्यवाद के लिए है, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर किसकी क्या राय है इसके बारे में है। हम सभी जानते हैं, थोड़ा सा हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से पहले ले जाते हैं कि हमारा देश संविधान लागू होने के पहले गुलाम था अंग्रेजों का। इस गुलामी की बेड़ी को महात्मा गांधी, सुभाष चंद्र बोस, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू, राजेंद्र प्रसाद, मदन मोहन मालवीय, आज बड़े बड़े नेता ने मिल करके इस क्रांति की लड़ाई को लड़े थे और देश को आजाद कराए थे। देश को आजाद होने के बाद एक प्रश्न ये उठा, इस देश को चलाया कैसे जाए और इसमें कानून का लागू कैसे किया जाए। उसके लिए एक संविधान सभा बनी, और उस संविधान सभा का जो प्रेसिडेंट थे वो बाबू राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी थे, और ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी के चेयरमैन जो थे वो हमारे अंबेडकर साहब थे। और इस तरह से ये संविधान सभा बनने के बाद उसमें एक ड्राफ्टिंग हुई, जिसमें ये कहा गया कि भारत का जो लोकतंत्र है वैसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पिरोया गया है, और ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है भारत की आत्मा है, और जितने भी लॉ है, जितने भी गवर्न होते हैं लोग, वो सब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत ही गवर्न होते हैं। तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को भारत की आत्मा क्यों कहा गया? इसलिए कहा गया कि इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत पार्लियामेंट चलेगी, इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत सुप्रीम कोर्ट चलेगा, और इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत हाई कोर्ट चलेगा, इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत लोअर कोर्ट चलेगा, और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव बॉडी भी इसी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत चलेगी। इसके बियॉन्ड जो जाएगा वो लॉ के पर्व्यू से बाहर रहेगा और उसको दंडित भी किया जाएगा। अब सवाल ये है कि इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में हमको राइट क्या दिया गया? उस राइट के बारे में हम जानना चाहेंगे। तो हमको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में 6 राइट दिया गया। ये है 6 मौलिक अधिकार दिए गए, और इसमें समानता का अधिकार आर्टिकल 14 से 18, स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार आर्टिकल 19 से 22, शोषण के विरुद्ध का अधिकार आर्टिकल 23 से 24, और धार्मिक स्वतंत्रता का अधिकार 25 से 28, सांस्कृतिक और शैक्षणिक अधिकार 29 से 30, और संवैधानिक उपचारों का अधिकार 32। ये इसी 6 में कितने अधिकार हमको दिए गए हैं, सारे लॉ इसी के तहत गवर्न होते हैं। हमको फंडामेंटल स्पीच की राइट मिला, हमको अपने अधिकारों के बारे में राइट मिला, हमारी प्रॉपर्टी के बारे में राइट मिला। तो जितनी चीजें आपको मिली हुई है इस स्वतंत्र भारत में, वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत मिली हुई है, और उसका अगर उल्लंघन होता है तो आप माननीय उच्च न्यायालय और उच्चतम न्यायालय में जाकर के इसको रेज कर सकते हैं कि साहब ये हमारे साथ गलत हो रहा है। तो इसीलिए कहा गया है कि भारत का जो आत्मा है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है उस आत्मा है, और उसी के तहत भारत के लोकतंत्र जो है वो चल रहा है। आज लोकतंत्र बचाए रखने के लिए और चलाने के लिए जो सबसे बड़ी बात है वो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। तो इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को हम लोग एक पर्व के रूप में मनाते भी हैं इसका, और ये 26 नवंबर 1949 को लागू हुआ, और तब से भारत का संविधान इस देश में चल रहा है, जो लोकतंत्र का एक जीवित उदाहरण है। पूरे देश में, पूरे विश्व में भारत जैसा लोकतंत्र कहीं नहीं। यहाँ हर जाति और धर्म के लोग रहते हैं, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में उनको राइट मिला हुआ है। उनको धर्म में राइट मिला हुआ कि आप अपना अपना धर्म मानिए, इसमें कहीं हमको कोई सवाल नहीं। लेकिन अगर वर्तमान सरकार या पूर्व सरकारें अगर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ काम करती हैं तो उसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट देखता है कि वो काम सही हो रहा है कि गलत हो रहा है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट जो है पार्लियामेंट से पारित कानून को अगर वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के विरुद्ध है तो उसको क्वेश्चन भी कर सकता है। तो इसलिए सारे अधिकार जो है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत है और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भारत की आत्मा है, लोकतंत्र को जीवित रखने के लिए पर्याप्त है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your views for the Constitution. It's a nice lecture. For another keynote address, we have Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh, BC NLU Tripura. Professor Singh is currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of National Law University Tripura. Yogesh Pratap Singh received his LLM from National Law School of Indian University, Bangalore, and LLB from the University of Allahabad. His doctoral thesis entitled Contribution of Dissentient Opinions of Indian Supreme Court Judges to the Indian Legal System, a Critical Evaluation, is recognized as a significant contribution to the understanding of voting patterns of judges in the Supreme Court of India. This work was later published as book entitled Judicial Dissent and Indian Supreme Court Enriching Constitutional Discourse by Thomson Reuters. Honorable Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Judge, Supreme Court of India, authored a scholastic foreword for the book. Dr. Yogesh participated in the 39th annual session of International Human Rights Law organized by International Institute of Human Rights, France. Dr. Singh served as Deputy Registrar Research in the Supreme Court of India from May 16 to October 18. Dr. Singh worked as Vice Chancellor in charge and the Registrar of the NLU Odisha. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nidhi. I am truly honored to have been invited by the Amity Law School. I thank Chairman Saab, Dr. Dilip, Dr. Shefali, and all the faculty members, HOD of the Amity Law School. The topic, I teach constitutional law, and as a student of constitutional law, I feel very happy when we organize this kind of FDP, because this is how we can inculcate the constitutional values and the respect for constitution, constitutionalism in the faculty members, in the students. The word constitution, when we use in the context of a state or a context of a nation or country, as Chairman rightly mentioned, very rightly mentioned, that constitution means a set of fundamental principles, basic rules of governance. It defines various aspects of this, of the state and the principal organs of the state. It's a structure, power, functions of the major institutions of the government and various other instrumentalities of the government, legislature, executive, and judiciary, the three principal organs, and then various other instrumentalities and institutions. So, and when we also mention constitutional values, again, as Chairman have rightly mentioned, he referred the preamble of the Constitution, where we get a gist of all the ideals, all the values which the drafters of the Constitution, they wanted to achieve. And that's why we say preamble is a part of the Constitution. So the goals which we identified for ourselves, and we said that in the near future, we'll try to achieve these principles, these values in the country. And these were socialism, secularism, democracy, the republic character of the Indian state, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, unity, and integrity of the nation. Socialism, when we, and you may be also aware that social and economic inequalities have been inherent in the Indian traditional society, which is why socialism was made a constitutional value, even though it was formally incorporated later by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. But if you see the scheme of the Constitution, the Part 4 Directive Principles of State Policy was nothing but the principles of socialism. So Directive Principles Part 4 was based on principle of socialism and equality. It was reaffirmed by 42nd Constitutional Amendment later. And if you see the scheme, our constitution directs governments, a state, and the people to ensure a planned and coordinated social development in all the fields. It directs a state to prevent concentration of wealth. It directs a state so that there is no concentration of power in few hands. And that is why when we talk about power, we also, in the beginning, when we start constitution, we also mention the word constitutionalism. Constitution and constitutionalism are two different aspects. A country may have constitution, but a country may not have constitutionalism. Constitutionalism is the idea of limited power. Constitutionalism is the idea of limited government. And this was one of the reasons for drafting a written constitution, friends, because constitution was drafted primarily for this reason, so that all powers are limited power. All powers. Power is very bad phenomenon. It is essential. And that's why we say that power is the ability to affect another by its exercise. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you give power to some institution, some individual, and you don't give guideline how to exercise that power, then the maximum possibility will be that there will be misuse of power, there will be abuse of power. Some people may be angels, that they may not abuse, they may not misuse that power. And that is why we started, and this is one of the biggest contribution of the Americans. I say always that they started a convention of a written constitution, unlike Britain. Because you have to write expressly black and white that what are the powers. Defining powers in the constitution is also limitation. When you write something, it is a limitation. And then also expressly writing that these are the limitations on your power. So when we gave power to legislature in the Indian constitution, we have mentioned the limitation. When we gave power to the executive, we have also mentioned the limitation. So constitution as a power controlling device gave this idea of constitutionalism. So when we claim that we also have constitutionalism, it means all powers in the constitution given by the constitution are limited. All power controlling devices, there are so many power controlling devices in the constitution. We divided vertical power control device like federalism and fundamental rights, and then we horizontal power controlling devices, which functions at the level of the state organs. Doctrine of separation of power and checks and balances. So there were principles made like indirective principles of state policy, that is, state shall in particular strive to minimize the inequalities in income. The state will try to eliminate inequalities in status, facilities and opportunity not only amongst individuals, but also amongst groups of people residing in different areas or engaged in different vocations. Article 39, 38 and 39, I refer very often, 39B and C, more specific, that the ownership and control of material resources of the community are so distributed as to subserve the common good. And then 39C, that the operation of economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth and means of production to common detriment. So, and these provisions are so fundamental. Sometime initially, if we see the initial approach of the Supreme Court, because these provisions 39, 38, 39B and 39C are part of directive principles of state policy, and directive principles are not judicially enforceable. So initial idea was that these are not so important, like fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are something which is very important, crucial, because judicially enforceable, but directive principles are inferior rights. This was the initial impression given by the Supreme Court, which was later corrected. But a lot of damage was done in the initial phase. And the government, while implementing 39B and 39C, when they started implementing agrarian reforms, land reforms in various states, you will find so many litigations. Every act of state government to implement agrarian reform, to implement 39B and 39C was challenged in the High Court or in the Supreme Court. So it took a long time to settle that dispute and to implement 39, to abolish Jamindari system, so that we can, because land was a material resource and it was not fairly distributed. If it is not fairly distributed, then you have to redistribute in a fair and transparent manner. So the directive principles of state policy was based on socialism. Secularism is another value we believed right from our ancient tradition, culture, in the principle like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And we feel proud when we say that India is a home of almost all the major religions in the world. Particularly, secularism is seen as one of the greatest constitutional values. Means country is not guided by any one religion or any one religious considerations. It will ensure that the state does not have any religion of its own. However, Indian secularism is not against religion. It allows all citizens to profess, preach, practice, propagate any religion, your own religion. Constitution also strictly prohibits any discrimination on the grounds of religion. And at the same time, Constitution also empowers the state to promote all the religions equally. So we adopted a different kind of secularism in our Constitution. We believed in, I call it salad bowl theory, a metaphor which is used for a multicultural society. Salad bowl theory, which integrate different cultures while maintaining their separate identities. Unlike another theory called melting pot theory, which emphasizes the combination of the parts into a single whole. We have Supreme Court judgments where secularism has been identified as one of the essential features of the Constitution. S.R. Bombay is one of the landmark cases where Supreme Court said that we are a country of many faiths, many castes, many cultures, which have existed together due to a tradition of tolerance and fraternity. Fraternity is prior to secularism, but secularism in turn is the bastion to build fraternity for the achievement of national allegiance and progress within the framework of Indian democratic polity, which seeks to achieve the dignity of individuals along with amity of groups. So our constitution, as we know, was written on the Holocaust of partition. Later, judiciary widened the horizons of cultural, religious, and educational minorities, and that has also acquired the basis of nearly absolute right. Justice is another value which was used in the preamble of the Constitution: justice, social, economic, and political. At times, we may realize that living in a democratic system alone does not ensure justice. Even now, we find a number of cases where not only the social and economic justice, but also the political justice is denied. Even after 75 years, we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and which is why the constitution makers included social, economic, and political justice as constitutional value. And by doing so, they stressed that the political freedom granted to Indian citizens has to be instrumental in the creation of a new social order based on social and economic justice. Justice must be availed to every citizen. The ideal of a just and egalitarian society remains as one of the foremost values of the Constitution. I already mentioned justice. We can't define justice. We only say that justice means something which is giving someone his due. Like truth, justice is also very, very dialectic. There are various principles of justice. You can't define justice in one phrase, one line, which is true for all the societies, in all the context. But when we discuss and deliberate on theories of justice, we find Rawls' principle of justice, which is widely accepted and recognized in civilized and democratic societies, which talks about fairness and distribution of resources, a distributive justice. And this distributive justice idea was incorporated in Article 39B and 39C when I mentioned that material resources of the community shall be so distributed as to subserve the common good. And land was a material resource which was not properly distributed because we had the old Jamindari system. So Constitution has to ensure that justice, social and economic justice, by implementing 39B and 39C, Rawls' principle of justice. And that is why land reform was implemented, agrarian reforms where land reform legislations were passed by various state governments, and it was implemented, though it was contested in the High Court and Supreme Court, but we were able to implement the socio-economic justice. Liberty of thought is another virtue which our preamble talks about: liberty of thought and expression, belief, faith, and worship. And these have to be assured to every member of all the communities, because the ideals of democracy cannot be attained without the presence of certain minimal rights which are essential for a free and civilized existence of individuals. And if you see, Mr. Tripathi rightly mentioned the 6 rights which Constitution has guaranteed to every citizen or every person. Some of the rights are given even to the person, which includes even non-citizens, even foreigners. And these rights are given by virtue of being a human being. These rights are not given by the state. These rights are not created by the state. Our Constitution has only guaranteed that the state shall not deny these rights. So these rights are a limitation on the power of the state. And whenever it is asked that which right is more important, I think right to life we leave apart, because right to life is a condition precedent for all other fundamental right. If you have right to life, then only you can exercise, you need any other fundamental right. The second fundamental right, which are very, very essential and crucial in a democratic republic, is freedom of speech and expression, freedom of thought. And when I mention freedom of speech and expression, I always remember and I refer this beautiful statement of this philosopher John Stuart Mill, where he says that if all mankind minus one were of one opinion and only one person were of contrary opinion, mankind would no more be justified in silencing that one person than he, if he had the power, would be justified in silencing mankind. And I would suggest you to read that essay on liberty of John Stuart Mill, where he gives defense of his thesis that if we stop one person from expressing this one individual opinion, we may lose truth. Maybe this person is going to speak truth. And if we lose truth, humanity will not progress. Even if this person will not speak truth, he will speak false. Even then, mankind will lose and mankind will not progress, because mankind will at least know that it is not true. That is equally important. History of science, history of spirituality, history of religion, if you see, you will find this is nothing but a series of descents. When Einstein gave E is equal to mc square, his theory of relativity, there were so people were saying that, oh, it's rubbish, it's wrong, he's talking nonsense. But later it was accepted. Galileo, all big scientists, when they talked about their opinion, their findings, the entire world was against them. But later it was proved. Suppose if you have stopped that individual from expressing that opinion, mankind would not have progressed. And therefore, the heterodox, unorthodox also plays a very vital role in the society. The dissenters, they also play a very vital role in the society. Kabir Das said, Nindak nere rakhe angan kuti chhawaye. So the people who criticize you is also very, very important, and you should give due respect to him. So liberty of thought, because when we demand that our view should not be expressed, one's view should not be expressed, then I have not only concluded that my view is infallible, but I have also concluded that other people should be allowed to think about the ideas for themselves. So liberty of thought, expression, dissent is one of the most, or I would say the most important value of our constitution, which and this is, I can say with some conviction that right from the beginning, Supreme Court of India has been very, very kind with respect to Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution, freedom of speech and expression. Right from the beginning, the Supreme Court, this is one of the darling articles, I say, of the Supreme Court. Article 21 was given a very restrictive meaning. Article 14 was given a very restrictive meaning, but Article 19(1)(a) was given a very liberal approach right from the beginning, because Supreme Court realized that freedom of speech and freedom of dissent is very, very crucial. Equality is another value which the preamble has incorporated. And again, equality, when we say what is the meaning of equality, again, we start with various kinds of debates. Equality of status and equal opportunity to every citizen for the development of the best in the person. As a human being, everybody has a dignified self, and to ensure its full enjoyment, inequality in any form which is present in the society has been prohibited. Article 14 to 18 makes that kind of provision. Then we have a series of cases where Supreme Court has deliberated and discussed that what kind of equality we have in the Constitution. It is formal equality, it is substantive equality, then even substantive equality, what kind of measures we can take in form of affirmative action, in the form of positive discrimination. Long series of cases starting from Champakam Rajan versus State of Madras, and this even for Article 14, 15, and 16, again, I say that Supreme Court has taken initially a very regressive approach, very, very restrictive approach. First time when reservation affirmative action was taken, it was challenged in the court, it was struck down. There were orders passed by various states like state of Mysore, state of Tamil Nadu, and it was attacked in the state high court, and it was several times it was declared unconstitutional and arbitrary by this high court. Finally, Supreme Court agrees after a decade or so in Balaji versus state of Mysore that you can give some kind of a balanced reservation where 50% will be given for the reservation and 50% should be open for the reservation pool, for the merit pool. Sorry. So, and that debate still continues. The debate still continues that how much reservation should we give. Fraternity is another significant commitment made in the preamble to promote the value of fraternity that stands for the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people in India. In the absence of fraternity, a plural society like India stands divided. And as a society today, we are together. We are facing the biggest, I feel biggest deficit of common brotherhood now. To give meaning to all the ideals like justice, liberty, equality, the preamble lays great emphasis on fraternity and common brotherhood. In fact, fraternity can be realized not only by abolishing untouchability amongst different sects of the community, but also by abolishing all communal or sectarian or even local discriminatory feelings which stands in the way of unity of India. At this juncture, I would also, it would be appropriate to mention that our Constitution, though lately, but prescribes some of the fundamental duties to be performed by the citizens, because we have developed that habit of talking about rights only, and we don't emphasize more on our duties. These are also, in my opinion, significant values, and Government of India, I think 2019 or 20, they celebrated the entire year as Constitution Day, as Constitution celebration, and fundamental duty was the real focus, where our university was also a nodal officer, where we trained many students, many school teachers. We organized several training programs where we sensitized teachers on various fundamental duties like patriotism, nationalism, humanism, environmentalism, harmonious living, gender equality, a scientific temper and inquiry. This is very important, and individual and collective excellence. So these are some of the values which we find later in fundamental duties. I think there are many more things which I wanted to discuss, but I have to also go for some program. But at the end, I want to quote a beautiful line from one of the judgments, very famous judgments written by Justice Chinnappa Reddy, in Vijay Emanuel versus State of Kerala, popularly known as National Anthem case. And at the end of the judgment, he writes, our tradition teaches tolerance, our philosophy preaches tolerance, our constitution practices tolerance. Let us not dilute it. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Dr. Singh,
Sir,
it was a great deliberation. It's a great dissections.
sir, thank you.
It's a great expression, I must tell it. So thank you very much for enlightening all the FDP participants. I think their take homes will be much enriched. Nidhi?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for making it pertinent for us to move in the direction of justice, equality, and fraternity. Now, it's a bliss for us to share with you all the release of book. For this, I invite Shelja Khosla. Over to you,
Guys, you
Shelja.
have to be silent. You have to be.
You are muted.
A very good afternoon. I was on the mail. Thank you so much, Amity Law School, Amity University, Noida, in collaboration with Amity Academic Staff College for this faculty development program, which was an interdisciplinary initiative by our additional head and joint director, Professor Dr. Shefali Raizada ma'am. And I am deeply in gratitude for this day as we present the book, Coherence for Global Sustainable Development, Transforming Approach. That an idea is an idea. It is a theory, a conceptual framework. But when you implement on a practical framework, then you achieve results. And that is what this book all about says, that as Kofi Annan and Ban Ki-moon have said, that sustainable development, which began after post-2015 and now being inculcated as a path of life. So it has not remained on the theory or the textbooks. It is the path of life. It is the formula of how we have to live our life, covering from economic sustainability, which began from the environment protection, the development idea since post-2015, 1972, gender equality, how we can achieve more productivity in this food scarcity system, and where are we approaching with a solution in mind, with a framework in center of attention, which is sustainable development. Sustainable development, this book have taken up to the next level. It's just not the environment protection that began by the International Community of Nations in 1972, but it has gone now on the practical realm. This book is an initiative by various academicians from politics, economics, environment, ecology, and various other law and interdisciplinary allied fields, contributing to various aspects where sustainable development could be put into more than an idea, and it is not an idea. It is a way, the path, it is a culture of life, and that this book has transformed and put into practice. So the opportunity was being provided, and the stewardship and the whole direction and the idea concept was being put forth by Professor Dr. Shefali Raizada ma'am, taken up by the editorial committee, my co-editor my editorial team, Ms. Alagnanda Singh ma'am, Ms. Swati Kaushal ma'am, who began with transdisciplinary system of framework of ideas putting into practical implementation.
I would add here, as an
The
editor-in-chief of this
forward
book.
has been provided.
Acha, okay, please carry on, Shelja. You complete your sentence, please.
By a former Chief Justice of India, Balakrishnan sir, and he has contributed for the forward, providing the idea that the challenges are multifold, right? And we have 17 sustainable development goals, and sustainability is in the realm of every 1 to 17 goals, whether it is education, infrastructure, power, energy, beginning from the environment, and all these challenges, which are also interfacing challenges. We find education is concerned with the infrastructure for more schools and colleges. Then we have a better environment internally, externally. So these even challenges are interrelated. And the center of attention, how we can achieve the solution towards all these goals, is the sustainable development.
And now I would like to add here a little bit. This book exactly is the representation, and it is a result of various independent areas and various perspectives given by the authors, who are the authors of various chapters under this book. And especially the intention, and this book intends to comprehend and multifaceted, means cover up the multifaceted areas of the sustainability development. I believe sustainability is the big word in today's time. And certainly what exactly the various dimensions, definitions, various versions of this word is very important to understand in the present scenario. So I believe each chapter has explored a new idea, new thought process, a new angle and degree of looking at sustainability development in the today's time, and how to, as a responsible citizen, within the constitutional part, how we are going to protect and contribute to this development in each area and each discipline. So that is the purpose of bringing out this book. And I'm really thankful, first of all, to our founder president, sir, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, our Chancellor, sir, and Vice Chancellor, ma'am. Certainly very, very thankful to our chairman, sir, who has given a very beautiful message for this book to enhance our confidence, to give the motivation and encouragement to all the faculty. Three new, very young faculty members, they were the part of this team, that is Ms. Alaknanda, Ms. Swati Kaushal, and Ms. Shelja. They are all very new young faculty who have contributed and showed their best for editing, for contribution, because the research and publication is a very, very important pivotal role play in the institution building, I believe so. So I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to former Chief Justice of India, Justice Honorable Balakrishnan sir, KG Balakrishnan sir, who has given the forward, and I'm very thankful for him to ready and to accept this message. I'm also very thankful to our publisher, that is Commercial Law Publisher, those who have given a very minute details and gave the best in editing and publishing and printing for this beautiful cover, with the cover, this the piece of academic contribution and literature. So thank you so very much for everyone and all the authors who have contributed, because this is a result of their efforts, who in a compiled way, it is the good presentation and good thought-provoking kind of the work which was ready as a reference book for the future generation, and for this generation, all students, industry, academy, I believe they would be benefited out of this work. So thank you so very much for this book. As editor-in-chief, I am thankful and giving my gratitudes, and I'm very thankful to Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh sir, and also the Madhusudan Tripathi ji for witnessing this release of book, and I'm very thankful for in your presence it is getting released. So thank you so very much. Over to Nidhi.
Thank you, ma'am, and congratulations to the Shefali ma'am and the editorial committee for the new release. Now again, there is another feather in the cap for the release of journal. And for this also, I invite Dr. Shefali Raizada, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the another, yes, certainly it is the another feather in the publication, and means the achievement. I believe research publication, as I told, plays a very pivotal role in maintaining the institution and also maintaining the standards of the higher education. So the time has come, I believe, that India and Indian universities under new education policy, they have to ensure the quality and excellence in the teaching learning process, greatly contribute towards, and I believe they have to be very, very careful in understanding the level of the students and the academia to raise to what level, from what level to what level. So in today's scenario, the success is based on innovation, new ideas, rather than the optimization. So this journal will certainly prove a real differentiator for the success of Amity Law School as a premium institute. And this Amity International Journal of Legal and Multidisciplinary Studies, I'm wanting to share this with our guests and the participants. This journal is an independent, blind reviewed journal to publish articles from academicians, scholars, researchers. It's aimed to provide a common platform to discuss the key issues relevant to human discourse in the present scenario and encourage them for free exchange of the ideas across the globe. So I'm really feeling so great, so means privileged to say a few, and for this releasing to say something about this journal issue. This is the 12th issue of the 6th volume of this journal, which is being released at this time. And this is actually the sincere efforts of the senior faculty who have taken initiative, who have started work for this journal, and very, very important items and important themes they have tried their best to bring out in this form to the world and globe across. So the concept and motive of this journal is to highlight the factor of connect amongst different disciplines. So I'm very thankful for sharing about this issue, which is being released. It is the 12th issue of the 6th volume in the presence of our Vice Chancellor NLU Tripura, Professor Yogesh Pratap Singh's presence, and also our other important guest, that is Shri Madhusudan ji. In your presence, it is me, and certainly with all guidance, blessing, good wishes, highly motivated, our chairman sir's presence, and in the presence of all faculty colleagues and the participants. So certainly it is a high time, and it is really a moment of happiness that both these are being released on this platform of a very, very great platform, witnessed by very eminent persons. So thank you so very much. All the editors, authors, and the advisory board who are the part of this journal. Thank you so much. Over to Nidhi.
Thank you, ma'am, and congratulations to ALSN for this release. Now, before we can I request Dr. Pranav Tiwari to share the glimpse of FDP through report reading.
Thank you very much, Nidhi ma'am. A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and faculty members and the participants present in the FDP. Thank you very much for this opportunity. This report intends to brief the dignitaries, faculty members, and the participants of the ongoing activities which were held during this 5-day interdisciplinary faculty development program, I hereby seek the permission of our Honorable Chairman, Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, sir, to start this report reading. Sir, may I? Thank you, sir. The 5-day interdisciplinary faculty development program.
Yes, sir. Camera काम नहीं कर रहा है.
सर आपका कैमरा ऑन नहीं है शायद प्रणव सर.
Let me check, ma'am. Is it visible now, ma'am, or not?
No, not. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yes, now.
All right. All right. The 5-day interdisciplinary faculty development program on constitutional values, a way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare, was organized by MIT Academic Staff College in association with MIT Law School, Noida. The FDP aimed to explore the significance of constitutional values in fostering compassion, social welfare, and promoting equality, justice, and harmony within societies. It provided a platform for participants to delve into the intersections of constitutionalism, human rights, and fundamental duties, and to examine emerging challenges and problem areas. As the constitutional values serve as the foundation of a just and inclusive society, the FDP highlighted the importance of constitutional principles such as human dignity, equality, justice, freedom, fraternity, and social welfare in shaping the legal, political, and social fabric of a country. The FDP aimed in promoting humanitarianism and social welfare, encouraging civic engagement, and strengthening institutions responsible for safeguarding human rights. It also highlighted the need for international cooperation in addressing global challenges and promoting a more compassionate world. The FDP spent 5 days from 30th June to 6th July 2023 with 3 sessions held each day. A total 104 individuals from 58 universities all over the country were registered to participate in the FDP. The duration of each session was of 1 hour, followed by the feedback session. The program featured renowned resource persons from esteemed organizations all over the country who shared their expertise and insights on various aspects of constitutional values and their impact on humanitarianism and social welfare. The sessions were highly appreciated by the participants, who not only actively participated by forwarding their queries and curiosities to the speakers during the session, but also provided with their valuable feedbacks regarding the sessions after the completion of the session. Now I read the day-wise activities briefly to introduce you with the session, speakers of the session and their topics. For the day 1, FDP was inaugurated in the gracious presence of our Honorable Chairperson, Sir, Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, Sir, and respected HOI Additional Joint Director, Professor Dr. Sefali Raizada Ma'am, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Nishtha Jaiswal, Himachal Pradesh National Law University, addressed the inauguration session, where she put forth the importance of emergence of the Supreme Court as a value crafter, along with the ideological and proactive role that the Apex Court plays. Session 1 was an opening session led by Professor S.P. Srivastav, Professor and Dean, School of Law and Governance, Central University of South Bihar, who discussed on constitutional values as an enabler of humanitarianism, constitutional challenges, and emerging contours. His session was followed by Advocate Gayatri Virmani, Delhi High Court, who emphasized on the importance and role of constitutional values on the fairness, justice, and reverence for life. Session 2 featured Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, Director, Indian Law Institute, who explored constitutional values, human rights, and fundamental duties, explaining the scope of constitutional right to human dignity. Session 3 was addressed by Professor Dr. S.C. Roy, Professor Chanakya, National Law University, Patna, who focused on bringing the dimensions in understanding values, especially constitutional values and role of law in removal of social imbalance. A feedback session followed by a vote of thanks concluded the day's activity. Day 2 was held on 3rd July 2023, where the session 1 was led by Professor Dr. Prasanna Su, Professor, National Law University, Delhi, who spoke on the topic of introducing preamble to the Constitution, its historical context, interlinking with humanism, and concept of what humanism means, interconnecting with scope and relevance of languages. Session 2 featured Professor Dr. Anurag Deep, Professor, Indian Law Institute, discussing on constitutional values and duty jurisprudence, a perspective. Session 3 was addressed by Dr. Suparna Vainik, Assistant Professor, ALSN, MIT University, who in her session presentation emphasized on incorporating social values in context of elder rights protection for law and social sciences. A feedback session concluded the day's activity. Day 4, held on 4th July 2023, began with the briefing of the session led by Dr. Raghav Pandey, faculty, National Law University, Delhi, who gave a very interesting lecture on comparing the Institution of India and the US. Dr. Pandey highlighted the intricacies of the constitution of both the countries and also emphasized on how respective countries pay attention to the idea of social welfare. It was followed by session 2 featuring Professor Dr. Manjula Batra, Professor of Law, Professor of School of Law, North Cap University, who delivered a very engaging lecture on the part 4 of our Indian Constitution, Directive Principles of State Policy. Session 3 was led by Dr. Ashok P. Wadse, Associate Professor of Law, Maharashtra National Law University, who focused on good governance and constitutional virtue. Session was concluded with the feedback from the participants and vote of thanks. Day 4, held on 5th July 2023, began with the briefing session, followed by the session 1 led by Dr. Mukulita Vijayvargiya, member, Indian Legal Services. Dr. Vijayvargiya discussed about the importance of fundamental duties and the need to develop a mechanism whereby they can be implemented in the daily life of every citizen. Followed by her session, session 2 was held, which featured Dr. Anindya Tiwari, Assistant Professor of Law, Hidayatullah National Law University. The session was based on his discussion based on taxation within constitutional law, explaining the concepts and objectives of taxation, as well as the proper implementation of goods and service tax as the need of the hour. This was followed by session 3 addressed by Professor Preeti Saxena, Head Department of Human Rights, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar University, a central university, on fundamental duties, a reminder to the citizens to create a free, healthy, and responsible society, in which he opined that it was necessary to harmonize the part 3rd and part 4 of the Constitution. With this, the day 4 session was concluded with the day's activity. Day 5, 6th July 2023 was initiated with session 1 featuring Dr. Bhanu Pratap, Faculty of Law, University of Lucknow, presenting his thoughts on a comparative perspective of Indian and international global constitutional values. This was followed by session 2, which focused on topic examining the role and significance of financial laws in economic welfare and distributive justice, and was addressed by Dr. Anand Singh, Director, Center for Competition Law, National Law University, Jodhpur. It was followed by session 3, which was addressed by Dr. Aparna Singh, Faculty of Law, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, National Law University, Lucknow, on the topic of human rights and humanitarian law under the folds of the Indian constitutional values. With this session and the day 5, the FDP was concluded with a feedback session, providing participants an opportunity to share their thoughts and reflection on the program. Now I speak the results and outputs which we were able to achieve during this 5-day FDP program. The FDP was found to be successful in achieving the following objectives. It was successful in acquainting participants with the relevance of the Constitution and its impacts on citizens' daily life, developing a fundamental understanding of constitutionalism in various contexts, including social, political, and economic spheres, enhancing participants' knowledge and perspectives on constitutional values, providing fresh perspectives and insights on the subject matter through interactive discussions. Now I conclude my report. The FDP provided participants with a platform to explore the significance of constitutional values and their impact of humanitarianism and social welfare. The sessions led by renowned resource persons allowed participants to deepen their understanding of constitutional principles, human rights, and fundamental duties. The FDP was found to be successful in fostering discussions, encouraging active participation, and completing its aim to contribute to the participants' knowledge and perspectives on constitutional values and their role in creating a just and compassionate society. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranav sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Now, before we conclude, I invite Dr. Smita Tyagi for expressing our gratitude through vote of thanks. Over to you, Smita ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is the end to the interdisciplinary faculty development program on constitutional values, a way forward to igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. under the Guru Dakshita Faculty Induction Program, organized by the Amity Academic Staff College in association with the Amity Law School, Noida. In this 5-day FDP, we have gathered some of the brightest minds, renowned scholars, and passionate educators who shared their insight and expertise on constitutional values and their roles in igniting humanitarianism and promoting social welfare. We used this platform as an opportunity of upholding the principles that shape our nation's fabric and strengthen our commitment to upholding constitutional values. By embracing these values ourselves, we became catalysts for positive change. We seized this opportunity to collectively explore ways to translate constitutional values into tangible actions that ignite humanitarianism and promote social welfare. Together, we strive to create a better future for all. We would like to thank Honorable Founder President Sir Dr. Ashok Chauhan, President, Amity Law School, for his kind blessings and wishes for the FDP. We would like to thank Honorable Chancellor Sir, Amity University, Dr. Atul Chauhan, for his appreciation for the FDP. We would like to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am, for her best wishes for the FDP. We would like to thank respected Chairman of Amity Law Schools, Professor Dr. D.K. Bandopadhyay sir, for all his constant encouragement at all times and support for the FDP. We would like to thank Additional Director, Joint Head, Amity Law School, Noida, Professor Dr. Shefali Raizada, for her immense guidance and direction for the FDP to deeply enrich the participants' knowledge of the Indian Constitution. We would like to thank Additional Director, Joint Head, Amity Law School, Noida, Professor Dr. Aditya Tomar, for his best wishes and support for the FDP. We would like to thank Additional Director, Joint Head, Amity Law School, Noida, Professor Dr. Arvind Bhanu sir, for his encouragement and support for the FDP. We would like to thank our esteemed guest, Shri Madhusudan Tripathi ji, Member and former Chairman, Bar Council of UP, for his words of wisdom and his wonderful session. We would like to be associated with him in future. We would like to thank our esteemed guest, Professor Dr. Yogesh Pratap Singh, sir, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Tripura, for his very engaging and interesting session. We would like sir to visit our campus soon. And last but not the least, we would like to thank our participants who have been very attentive and interactive. Thank you for being with us. And with this, we end the FDP session.
But before ending, I would like to say a big thank you to along with our all guest of honors for the day, to our chairman sir, but certainly very dear all the faculty committee members for organizing this. They have given their best, hard work, and a very honest intention and a passion to organize this. And certainly then Nidhi Kaushik, I will take the name of the Smita Tyagi, Abhinav Tomar, and very well-read report by Pranav Tiwari, Dr. Pranav Tiwari. I'm really thankful. And the Shelja, she was very much there to support as a moderator. So many teachers, they have been involved here as a moderator for the different sessions. So I'm very thankful. I'm not taking their names, but I'm very happy and appreciate and give them a huge round of applause from my side to all my committee members, those who have done very meticulously, well organized. They tried to reach to the expectations of my and chairman sirs for keeping this keeping the quality of this FDP and the newness, innovation could be explored at this platform, on this platform. They tried their best. So I'm very thankful to all faculty who were also the resource persons. And certainly that all resource persons, they were very high profile luminaries or the eminent persons of the NLUs and the very good institute. But our young faculty, they were also the resource person. I'm very thankful for them. They have taken this initiative and contributed a lot. So thank you once again, Nidhi, Smita, and Abhinav Tomar, Pranav, Shelja, I'm
Thank
really
you so much,
thankful,
ma'am.
and I think we
Thank
will
you so much,
continue
ma'am.
again and again of such. And thank you once again, all our guests of honors for the day. And certainly thank you, Chairman Sir, for giving this opportunity, and have faith in us that we would be able to conduct successfully. So thank you so very much. Over to Nidhi.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Once again, I thank all the dignitaries for gracing this FDP, and thanks to all moderators, to all participants, my teammates, and thank you to all. So can maybe close the meeting now?
With the permission of Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
you please take the permission to close this.
Yes, ma'am.
Close this.
हाँ जस्ट एक मिनट रुको मैं इसको थैंक्स
Okay, sir.
एक मिनट रुको होल्ड करो I think as you are telling me that to close it, but close is not the right word. The
Okay,
right
sorry,
word
sir.
right word would be, let us wait for the next FDP.
Yes.
And that should be the right word. Sir, should we now stop and wait for the next FDP? So that is the right spirit, and I like all of you. The way you have conducted this program is a really fascinating, and this is also creating different type of benchmark to Amity Law School Noida. And all my kudos goes to HY, Dr. Shefali Rajada, and certainly Smita, Nidhi, Pranab, Alagnanda, and all those who are involved, and certainly Selja. I could see that there is a change in Selja, so that's very good, because that is the way how things should be, and that is the way how the unified approach for the law school should be. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Keep up the spirit and stop here, and let us plan.
Thank you, sir.
Let us already plan and look forward. I look forward for the second one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello.
So shall we leave, Nidhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I
Tell
think-
all the very appreciative kind of the effort from all of your side. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.